Come on, choir, let them know that if the Lord said, you can count on it tonight. And he'll do.
All right, folks, good morning. Time for Women's Wednesday. Get woke, get ready for impeachment. And she's on video. You can see Brittany live right here.
I'm annoyed.
866-99 Sirius.
They made me change my chair, and
so
now
people can see you better.
My microphone is now off.
So people can see you better.
I don't need anyone seeing me. Look at it. Now this is all wrong. It's all wrong.
Go over there for a minute and stand next to Brittany so people can see what you look like.
You see what I look like?
Nobody know what you look like. There's Andrew. There's Andrew, everybody. All right. So
go back over there now.
It's a Women's Wednesday. Looking at Andrew. She's got the so what we got?
This is the worst chair I've ever sat in. I'm like hunched over.
We're just trying to get comfortable.
No, I can't.
Boy, oh boy, I love live radio.
I need my old chair.
What?
Slide that over.
She's gonna change chairs in the middle of Women's Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know
this is so much better.
You know we on air now.
Well, I don't know why you're over here.
I'm trying to make sure you're
Make it plain with Mark Thompson.
I'm happy
Mondays through Fridays.
No, I don't want your wig.
6 to 9 a.m. on Sirius XM Progress 127. Call us right now, 866-997-4748.
Okay.
What is he doing?
I have no idea.
What? I'm filling time.
Why are you filling time?
Because we're on the air.
Oh, okay. No, we're good. All
right.
Women's Wednesday, y'all.
Okay, so there's some news going on today surrounding abortion, but I'm not going to go in the direction that some listeners out there might be expecting me to directly go to. We're going to start off with some news out of the House of Representatives. Yesterday, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to ban abortion after 20 weeks of pregnancy. They had hours-long debate, complete with conservatives using ultrasound photos in an attempt to, they say it's to bolster their argument. I say it's to intimidate and scare women. But beyond that, the bill was sponsored by Arizona Republican Trent Franks. He went as far to say that very late-term abortions are an extreme and barbaric practice. That's a direct quote from him. So the bill did pass the House with, no surprise, a largely Republican backing. The vote was 237 to 189. And it made it a crime to perform or attempt an abortion after 20 weeks of pregnancy with the possibility of a fine, up to 5 years in prison, or both. And the bill, here they threw us a little bone here. The bill allows exceptions in cases of rape, incest, or to save the life of the mother. Oh, how kind of you. This is the third time, actually, that the House has passed this type of legislation since 2013. But this time it's a little different. Do you want to know why?
What?
Do you want to know why?
What?
Because it's the first time the bill has the backing of the White House. Surprise, surprise. On Monday, the Office of Management and Budget wrote in a statement that it, quote, applauds the House. What are you putting that spotlight on me for? Get that light out. No. You're messing up my flow here. Monday, the Office of Management and Budget wrote, you in that light, I swear.
I just read something yesterday about the energy in a room.
The energy is going to be death in a minute if that spotlight hits me again. Anyway, Office of Management and Budget wrote in a statement that it, quote, applauds the House of Representatives for continuing its efforts to secure critical pro-life protections. But anti-abortion activists are arguing in support of the bill that a fetus can feel pain at 20 weeks. Now, interestingly enough, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, also known as the people who went through years of college and medical school, practiced medicine on thousands of patients, and even conducted studies in this exact field and topic, though that group of people beg to differ with both the activists and those who are arguing that a fetus can feel pain at 20 weeks. They filed a statement titled, Facts Are Important. And in it, the ACOG says that fetuses actually can't feel pain before a woman is 24 weeks along, and that it's even And that actually is even less than a 2015 paper written in the Journal of American Medical Association, which found that fetuses probably can't feel pain until 29 or 30 weeks into the pregnancy. Now, first, let's talk about the hot phrase of the week is politicizing a tragedy. You know, we hear that constantly. And how is this not politicizing a tragedy by saying that, okay, first of all, no abortion after 20 weeks, unless you're a victim of incest or rape, right? Or the mother's life is at risk. But let's go to that first part, rape. How is it not politicizing a tragedy by now putting it on a possible rape victim to first prove in a court that the person she's accusing is guilty? And let's be clear on something here. There is no expedited process for someone who is looking to get a guilty verdict in a rape trial. I mean, it takes months, if not years, to go through these processes. I mean, some of the people we've had on this show even are years out from their actual attack and still have not had a ruling in their favor. So, how?
Right. Because they deny rape. So.
Right. Is rape not a tragedy, though? Why is it? Why are they comfortable politicizing that? Because that's exactly what they're doing.
Fair point. Fair point.
But all week, I've heard for the past week, don't politicize a tragedy. We can't politicize a tragedy in regards to Las Vegas and gun control. So when they being conservatives who do not believe in a woman's right to choose for her own body, when they want fewer regulations, don't politicize.
Right.
But when they're looking to control and clamp down, I haven't heard anyone say, don't politicize rape. Never have I ever heard that argument.
That's double standard.
Is glaring.
Yeah, that's a double standard.
Speaking of double standards,
Come on.
anyone ever heard of Republican Pennsylvania Representative Tim Murphy?
Uh-oh.
Ever heard that name?
Go there. Uh-oh.
You
heard about this?
You might have heard of Tim Murphy because he's a big supporter of March for Life, which is an organization that it is a pro-life organization, as they like to call themselves. They also seek to defund Planned Parenthood, which I'll make this note every single time I talk about this because I will never tire of saying the following statement. Federal funding that goes to Planned Parenthood is never used to pay for abortions. Never has, never will. Okay? So I'll make that point every single time. I'll never get tired of it. The end. But anyway, March for Life, they want to defund Planned Parenthood. They organize rallies, pro-life, etc. So, Tim Murphy, he is a big supporter of March for Life and is classically pro-life in his legislative decisions and support. So, it's just a little curious to me that now Shannon Edwards, a Pittsburgh forensic psychologist who is going through a divorce with her husband, she needed there was a document, a set of documents were released. And basically what they revealed is that Republican Representative Tim Murphy wanted Shannon Edwards to get an abortion. And why? Because she was his mistress. And she got pregnant. And so, in the document release, because they were going to depose Tim Murphy in her divorce trial, some text messages came to light.
Yeah. Y'all be texting them. Texts don't disappear.
And she says, this is what one of the text messages said. You have zero issue posting your pro-life stance all over the place when you had no issue asking me to abortion, which I guess she meant to abort our unborn child just last week when we thought that was one of the options. Yeah. And then in the same conversation, a text back from Murphy's cell phone. He said to Edwards, quote, I get what you say about my March for Life messages. I've never written them. Staff does them. I read them and winced. I told staff, don't write anymore. I will. Now.
Whoa. He's saying his staff?
He's claiming that his staff is responsible for writing his messages about March for Life in support.
Oh, I see.
And that...
So he's even denying that he's...
So he's saying to Shannon Edwards, who was his mistress, who he allegedly impregnated and took to get an abortion.
Is he denied?
Well, nobody's actually been able to confirm the pregnancy or an abortion or anything like that at this point.
Well, she says she's pregnant. Right?
Well, we don't know.
Wait a minute.
Nobody's making any statements further than this is just what came out of her divorce trial. This is stuff that's going on in her divorce trial.
Okay, all right.
So whether she actually was pregnant, is pregnant, we don't know.
Okay, all right.
But the issue at hand is this, is that personally, it just makes me wonder, what is the point of writing on legislation that you clearly don't support in your personal life? I mean, this guy literally wanted this woman to get an abortion. He obviously doesn't see any type of issue with it medically or morally. So why then is he committed to a life of saying the opposite?
Okay, do me a favor, because I'm sitting here next to you now.
Yeah, I know.
Go back up to her message. I mean, let me want to see something real quick.
Here.
Okay, this is her text message. You have zero issue posting your pro-life stance all over the place when you had no issue asking me to abort our unborn child just last week when we thought that was one of the options. So wait a minute. She's saying right there she's pregnant, isn't she?
Yes, but this was in January, and
well, I mean, but even if it's past tense,
no, she's saying yes.
So those are her words. She's pregnant. Now, if there's no text saying, because if somebody sends you a text to say, "Oh, you send me abort our unborn child,"
right?
If it's not true, I'm gonna send a responsive text that says, "That's not my baby."
Right?
Where's that text? So that means by omission, he knocked her up. That's she pregnant by him.
I mean,
that confirms it.
His response would suggest that, yeah, because he's coming off soft to her in the sense that
every woman has ever accused me of a baby that wasn't mine. I immediately text them and say that's not my baby. I'm not just gonna go into what my staff did.
Oh my. Well, right. But his response, he's he draws this hard line in his political life about.
She said, "Oh my." That did sound kind of. Now everybody want to talk about that. What? Wait a minute.
I know you're just derailing the conversation.
I mean, I didn't mean to do that. I'm just giving a hypothetical.
Yeah.
866-99 series. A lot of people want to talk about this. I'm on camera with Brittany, so you can see both of our hair. Hers is blonde, mine is white. We're on Facebook.com/make it plain, YouTube.com/make it plain. But because we want to get plenty of people want to get to calls.
Are you telling me to take one?
No, I'm saying no. Go, I want you to finish so we can do that.
Well, just my point being that, and
it's Women's Wednesday.
It just makes me. I scratch my head over this concept of, like I said, drawing such a hard line publicly. And then when it comes down to what you actually need, so like Tim Murphy, he needed that. He needed no restrictions in this situation. He needed a woman to be able to make that choice for her own body.
Right. Because that's what they do.
So why would you continue to support organizations and legislation that is the exact opposite of what you clearly need? You're showing that you're human like everyone else, and when you need that.
Right.
You need the option.
Well, and you're showing, as I'm sure you've heard me say before when this has come up, and for those of you who don't get it, we're going to do it. Andrew, give me breaking news, please, because I want to remind people of this. Go.
This is MIP breaking news.
All men support a woman's right to choose and contraception. All men. Okay? And they can lie to you all they want to. Okay? As a matter of fact, men support that more than anything. Because we're not going to take we're not going to go get an abortion. We don't even like to wear condoms. Can I just be real with you? So that's on y'all. You got to handle that business. Ain't nobody really now politically, they pretend like it is a wedge issue, but all of those men, the men who are most vocal against homosexuality are closeted, and the men who are most vocal against contraception and women's right to choose support it, like this clown right here. Boom. I just said something. I told the male secret. Let's go home. Something you just say. So ain't no point in continuing the show. Ain't no.
It's interesting to have this conversation a week after Las Vegas, right? Because you can really see the hypocrisy in the whole pro-life thing. Because look, 57 or 59? What?
59 is
59 people lost their lives.
So far,
right. There are still people that are hospitalized in critical condition. But my point being that you're not pro-life when it comes to gun legislation and having greater control over the types of people in the country who have guns and can take a life. Yet when it comes to a woman making a conscious, educated decision about herself, her well-being, her health, her life, suddenly you're pro-life.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I'm struggling with this hypocrisy. So
let's go back to the legislation you talked about, though. So where is the legislation right now?
It passed the House. It's not going to get through the Senate.
Okay.
As I said, it's the third time in 4 years, and it has never made it through the Senate. They need those 60 votes. It's just not going to happen. But it's troubling when it passes at the House level, even so. And 289 votes that's a lot of votes against women's rights to choose for herself. And again, these decisions are made by a largely male population when they're not held accountable in the same way when it comes to pregnancy and childcare.
Right.
All you have to do is fire off and then you can disappear.
Can I bring in another sad kind of topic?
Yes.
That is also going to inspire a lot of conversation and reaction, and is somewhat controversial.
Oh boy.
So we were talking, I think off mic, we didn't say much on mic, about the death of Hugh Hefner.
Mm-hmm.
And Hef, we know his role in the civil rights movement. He put up the reward money to find the killers of Schwerner, Cheney, and Goodman in Philadelphia, Mississippi, where Ronald Reagan would later announce his candidacy for president. Wink, wink. He ended segregation in gentlemen clubs and bars and whatnot, where black people can go into by bringing Dick Gregory into him, hired Dick Gregory, made him a star, he also was the first major publisher to come out in favor of women's right to choose. Now, you know, but as I've said, you know, people, what people say, it's complicated, very much so.
Because Hugh Hefner was a real good proponent for men's rights. The women's rights thing is no.
But it kind of still makes my point about all men supporting contraception and a woman's right to choose.
Right, because even a man who was a chauvinist and didn't actually, he wanted women's liberation on his own terms. But even so, those terms included the right to choose.
86699 series Women's Wednesday. The women want to hear from you because it is Women's Wednesday. We got about a whole. Who we got? We're on Facebook.com/MakeItPlain, YouTube.com/MakeItPlain. You want to get Lisa?
Yeah, let's bring Lisa on.
Lisa's in Pittsburgh. Lisa, God bless you. Good morning. Get ready for impeachment. Well, you supposed to be saying that. You
well, you took it from me.
I'm on.
No, we got to start over because I'm talking. Oh, go ahead. Let's start over like you answer the phone.
What am I supposed to say? No, no, I'm kidding.
God bless you. Good morning. Get woke.
Oh, really? I've been sitting here for over a year, and you think I don't know what you said?
Well, you asked.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, Lisa, what's up?
So, Tim Murphy is not my congressman, but he represents like a upper to upper middle class district, not too far from mine. Seemingly,
get out of here, Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. Mark is bugging me right now.
Mark, go away. Women's Wednesday.
Yeah.
But in any event, seemingly she either miscarried or it was a false alarm. His camp isn't saying anything. He was supposed to have been deposed on Friday. He had been fighting it. Court finally ordered him to do this deposition by Friday. Friday came and went. He did not appear for the deposition. So
I wonder why he was fighting it.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that had actually been going on for a few months.
Yeah.
And like I said, the court ordered him to do it by Friday. Friday came and went. We were all waiting. It didn't happen. No word from him or his people since then. So it all remains to be seen. But yeah, these were text messages. These were, you know, entered into the record in her divorce proceedings by her, I guess, soon-to-be ex-husband's attorneys. So, you know, they don't, you know, you don't submit those kind of things without verifying them. So it's not.
Well, not only that, the fact that where's the text message? Why didn't he leak the text message that says that's not my baby?
Because that doesn't exist. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
And he, I don't think I forgot to mention this. The bill I was talking about earlier, he was a co-sponsor on that.
Right. Yeah, I was about to mention that he's a co-sponsor on that bill. He has always been big on the anti-abortion stuff. I honestly think the people in his district are more interested in not paying taxes than anything else. They're those kind of folks. They'll let all the rest of the social, you know, cultural wars go. Just give me my low taxes. That's really most of his district. But he's a standard Republican, so obviously he has to be, you know, vociferously anti-abortion. And, oh, Mark, this is another topic, but I wanted to give you credit because you talked about your conspiracy theories. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this myself when you had a lot of young black people calling your show during the campaign saying Hillary Clinton called them super predators, and you wondered out loud where that was coming from because you said, we put that to bed 20 years ago. And I saw yesterday.
No. It didn't put it to bed. It didn't even come up 20 years ago.
Well, yeah. Steve Bannon.
It did not come up one time in 2008.
Not once. Not once. And I read yesterday, and I wish I could remember where, that Steve Bannon directed that to get put out there. Hillary Clinton said, you guys are super predators. That was from him. And like I said, I just wanted to remind you that you smelled a rat at the time, but we didn't have any.
I always smelled a rat. I'm a rat smelling somebody.
So congrats to you for sniffing out a piece of that conspiracy theory way before anything came
about
out.
Me today.
Oh, God.
Twice today.
If your head inflates any bigger, Andrew and I are going to fit in the room.
You're right.
Well, Mark, you've got rat smelling capabilities. Got to give you credit on that. That was one that you called way back then.
Thank you, Lisa.
Where is this coming from?
Well, but now we also know that these Russian ads targeted different ethnic groups and different communities, and African Americans in particular. And a couple of folk, you know, and I'm not going to put her name out there again right now, but one in particular, can't find her now. See, I'm kind of be honest with y'all, and maybe this sounds a little self-serving, but this is a good show in the sense that we let people come on here and share their point of view. If you dodge in my show, something wrong with that. And it's not, to me, it's not even personal. You're not, people don't come on my show a lot of times, don't go on anything. Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you taking interviews if you have a position on something? What are you afraid of? So I'm just going to say that. Thank you, Lisa. Enjoy your day. So the question to me, Britsky Temple, Women's Wednesday host, that I think we need to consider is the inherent contradiction in saying you want to preserve the life of a fetus,
right?
But you don't mind folk getting shot up in Vegas,
or shot anywhere for that matter,
right?
I mean, we don't have to look very far. I mean, we can just look at the past handful of years to see all the shootings that have occurred in our country, have taken innocent lives, children, and beyond. You know, just innocent people. And we are so reckless with weapons. And then we try to twist the argument of pregnancy into something political to fit a Republican agenda that makes no sense. The own Republicans who are sponsoring bills in the House aren't even in support of it in their personal lives.
Right. With this cat.
They're not
right.
living their truth.
A life inside the womb is more valuable than a life outside the womb, including the mother.
But and that's the thing. It's not, though, because this all comes back to one thing. Control the women. Control the women.
The women.
Because, you know, it's threatening that women are half the population. And women are hungrier now than ever and more determined now than ever, and have the platforms that they have are growing, that we have are growing to be more prominent figures, be leading figures in every field. And that's threatening, because this country has been steered by men since the beginning. And an uprising of female power is nothing short of intimidating to the men with inferiority complexes who can't handle the idea that things might run better if it was just an equal playing field.
The women. The women.
So today is Women's Wednesday. I should have just summarized it by saying today's focus is hypocrisy.
Cool. Thank you for that. Women's Wednesday, folks. All right. And we've been on Facebook Live. I think Nayera is going to join us now.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about paper towels. Andrew shared a story with us also on our social media, Facebook.com/MakeItPlain, Twitter.com/MakeItPlain, about Rex Tillerson calling Trump a moron, which he can call him because Tillerson is an employee of the Kremlin, hired by Putin to be Secretary of State. He told Trump, look it up. This is your Secretary of State. Trump said, I've never met him before. Doesn't matter. He's Secretary of State because we run you. All right. All right. We ready to go to break, Andrew?
Yes.
That was profound.
You've never put it to me like that before.
You're not embarrassed sitting next to me with my wig on, are you?
As opposed to every other day I have to deal with it.
We should read those comments in the break. A lot of people on Facebook have thoughts on your appearance.
What is it? What did it say?
Oh, I want to see.
Didn't you say we're going to take a break?
Yeah. Are they good?
Ooh, it says Yankees. Really? Anyone but. Go Tribe. Go Sox. Go Sox! Man.
Yankees gonna beat Cleveland. It's over. You're going down, Cleveland. You're going down.
No, there's not too many comments, so we're good.
All right. Okay. We'll take a break. Sirius XM Progress 127. This has been Women's Wednesday with Brittany. And is Resistance Radio as well. Get ready for impeachment. This is MIP.
Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, come in.